Hey, what's up everyone? It is me, Danny Lightning. Hope you guys are doing good today. So we're going to check out a whole bunch of free plugins. I mean, we're going to do a complete voiceover chain in free plugins. Everything from noise reduction to compression to EQ to even a tape machine if you want it. But these are all 100% free. I've been using these companies for years. They're safe. I'll put links in the video's description to where you can get all these plugins. But we're going to teach you guys what to use to make your voice sound really nice, easier to listen to, or fix any problems with your audio. If your voice is not pleasant to listen to, if there's a bunch of resonating frequencies, if there's too much low end, if there's just so many things that can make a voice not pleasant to listen to, and that's where these plugins come in, and these are 100% free. Unfortunately, the only thing I can't find for free is a mouth declick type of thing to get rid of those saliva sounds, so unfortunately, you're probably going to have to buy RX11 Elements for about $100 if you want to get that, but everything else we use today in here is going to be a 100% free and 100% awesome plugin that works great. And I'll put links in the video's description where you can pick these up for free and keep them forever. So plugin number one is our kilohertz noise gate. This is really good for either cutting off all background noise when you stop talking or reducing it. I like to reduce it because if it completely cuts off, then cuts in, then cuts off, that sounds very unnatural. So I just like to take the background noise. So every time I stop talking, it will just lower any background or room noise by a couple of decibels. I mean, I'm not going to show you how to set these up. We're just going to go over the ones that you should use. And you're actually getting to hear these right now on my voice. So all of these plugins are currently working and turned on, and you're hearing them. Towards the end of the video, I'll let you hear what it sounds like without these running as well. I'll tell you when I turn them off, that way you can hear the difference. But the kilohertz noise gate is awesome. This is something you definitely want if you got some, if you want to, if you're sitting there gaming and clacking on your keyboard, or your computer fans or something that are being picked up by the recording, this will fix these problems, or at least not make those problems as noticeable. That way the viewer can't hear them as much or won't notice them as much. So this is definitely a really, really good plugin right here. Everybody should have this, and it's free. Now remember, you do want to run these plugins in this specific order, because if your plugins are out of order, it may give you some problems. But plugin number two, which is 100% free, is the Techavations De-Esser 2. When you say things like silly cell seashells, it'll make those harsh S sounds not sound so shrill or piercing, and that will make your audio so much more pleasant to listen to. I mean, even if I don't need to run a de-esser, I always run one no matter what. I don't always run a noise gate, but I always run a de-esser. That is 100% something. Every single vocal recording, whether it's singing vocals, voiceovers, vloggers, whatever, de-esser should be on every single vocal recording that's ever existed, because I'm telling you right now, those sounds can be very ear-piercing, especially if you're listening to somebody's audio for long periods of time. Always run a de-esser, and this one is awesome. All right, next up on the list, I'm going to recommend two different equalizer plugins. Number one is TDR Nova. This is a pretty cool deal. I mean, there's some things I really don't like about this, but there's some things I love about this, which is why I'm going to give you a second option. Neither one's perfect. I mean, if you can go out and spend, $160 or whatever it is and buy FabFilter Pro Q, that is the best EQ that's ever existed. But if you're looking for free, TDR Nova here, you can even add dynamic bands to this so it compresses certain frequencies and everything else. So this is a really high-end, really good sounding EQ. I mean, this thing is just awesome. There's a few things about the controls I don't love, but once you get used to this thing, it is a great EQ. You can do a lot with it, and it's 100% free. Now, one of the best parts about the TDR plugins, and we are going to show you another one of these later, is you don't have to download any software on your computer. I just went to their website, I downloaded the version that did not have the installer, and then after it was in my download folder, I just dragged that and put it right there in my plugin folder, and bam, it showed up, and I didn't have to install any extra stuff. So that's one of the awesome things about TDR. Now, the Reaper EQ is definitely not as fancy. You don't get the dynamic bands, but if you're just looking for a really easy to use basic EQ, this will do it to it right here. It's free. It's from Reaper, which is one of the best audio editing softwares out there right now. Reaper is like $60 if you buy the DAW. It's awesome, and they do offer a free standalone plugin package that will work on any other DAW or editing software. So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, you can't beat these Reaper plugins for free. They're really good. They're easy to use. I mean, you can put as many bands on this one as you want. On the Nova, I think you're kind of limited to how many bands you can have. But on the Re-EQ, I'm telling you now, you can have 94 different bands on here if you need it. But this is just a great, easy to use, basic, simple EQ that does exactly what you want it to do. You know what? Let's go ahead and show you a third option for an EQ. If you're more interested in the old classic, more analog style thing, the TDR VOS SICK EQ. This is like an old school EQ. I mean, if you'd rather have this than the parabolic EQ, that's another option. It's 100% free. It's really good. These TDR plugins and the Reaper plugins are great. So is the Techavation, like that De-Esser I just showed you. These are all amazing plugins, but that's 3 different choices. You can get 2 companies, 3 choices, awesome plugins. They will do it to it and do everything you need them to do easily. All right, so the next thing on our list is going to be a compressor. This is the TDR, I don't even know how you say this, Kentalov compressor, Kentalov. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is the compressor I use on pretty much all of my recordings nowadays. It's very transparent, right? I don't hear the compression. I mean, I can just go ahead and add this, leave it to the exact stock settings. The only thing I do is I adjust the threshold knob until it hits the amount of compression I want, and bam, I don't have to touch anything else. This plugin is already set up perfect from the factory. All you got to do is adjust the threshold, and it's very transparent. You can't even hear the compression. So I try to get 1 to 2 decibels of compression. So on my normal speaking voice, just like this, I'm not getting loud, I'm not getting excited. I only like to see maybe 1 to 2 decibels of compression at most. And then if there's some parts where I get quieter, I don't really want that to be compressing much at all. Now, if I yell and I get loud, it's really going to clamp down and compress, and it's going to turn me down. That way I'm not breaking up people's ears with my loud screaming. Let's just say I'm doing a gaming video and all of a sudden I'm like, that compressor will turn me down, and that won't piss off the customer or the viewer, or whatever you want to call them. It won't make the viewers angry. You won't have just blown out their ear balls because you screamed in their ear. I mean, this will turn you down and make sure that doesn't happen. But yeah, the TDR Kentalov compressor, whatever you call it, this is my new favorite compressor. Out of all the compressors I have, even the paid ones, the ones I paid money for, I now like this better. This is my go-to compressor, right? This is my go-to favorite compressor in the world. I love this thing. So yeah, let's move on to the next plugin. Next up, if you want a tape machine, the kilohertz tape stop. This is supposed to give it like that old school tape sound. So if you want that it should add a little harmonic distortion and this and that, add a little flavor to your mix. This isn't something I would use as like a voice actor, but if you're podcasting or doing this, it's just a fun free plugin to play around with. If you like that, old school tape saturation and whatnot, you don't have to add this, but it's there in case you want it. It is free with their package. I mean, Kilohertz gives you like 60 different free plugins. I only downloaded the ones I want because I don't want all those extra plugins I'm not going to use on my computer. But I downloaded like 5 or 6 of their plugins because some of these are really awesome. But yeah, Kilohertz, Nova, Reaper, awesome stuff. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, so the next plugin we're going to talk about is the Reaper compressor. Just in case for some reason you don't seem to like that TDR compressor, which is leaps and bounds better than this one in my opinion. This one's a lot more basic, but it's also really easy to use. I mean, this may look complicated because there's all kinds of dials and tools, but bottom line is put your attack on 2.0, put your release around 100, move the ratio up to 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, and then you pull this big bar down over here on the right hand side for your threshold to determine how much compression you get, and you're good to go. The rest of the controls are set up the way they are. You don't need to touch them. It's very easy to use. I mean, it's just a great free compressor. I do like the TDR compressor a lot better. I don't know. They're both great though. You can't go wrong with either one, and they're both free. So my advice would be download all of these plugins, and then you can try them out and find out which ones you like best, because they're free and they're awesome and they work and they are very, very good. And then of course, the last plugin we're going to run is a limiter. This kind of works together with your compressor to make sure you never get too loud. Limiters are slightly different. So what I do with a limiter is I will push my voice to the max level and use it to actually limit a little bit. So it's kind of doing the same thing as a compressor, just a little bit differently. Now the limiter, you don't really want it doing much. I mean, this is a very, very, very basic limiter, but it is 100% free, right? It's a 100% free limiter, or your editing software might even have a limiter built in. So I'm not super picky on limiters. I really like the limiter built into DaVinci Resolve, but if you're using another DAW, another piece of editing software, there's a pretty good chance it already has a limiter built in, or maybe a couple limiter options. So you don't necessarily need this one, but this one works really well once you set it up right. I mean, it does the job, right? It does the job. But my favorite limiter is the one built into DaVinci Resolve. That is a free video editing software that also has a full audio editing suite inside of it. And yeah, that's my favorite limiter, is the one built into Resolve. So that's also a free limiter that's really good. But if you want the kilohertz one, like I said, I'll put links in this video's description where you can download all of these plugins for free. But this is a really nice limiter. You should definitely get it and play around with it. And then also try the free plugins that come in your DAW and see which ones you like better as well, because your DAW's probably got equalizers and compressors and everything else. Normally, I like the aftermarket plugins a lot better. Not always, but normally. But like I said, for some reason, I love the limiter that comes with DaVinci Resolve. It's the perfect limiter. It really is. You can easily see what's going on. It's just really, really nice. Okay, so right now, I think we went over all of the free plugins I recommend, and I'm going to go ahead and turn these plugins off. You're going to hear my voice without any of the plugins. I try to make my voice easy to understand, cut out any problems, remove a little low end. That way the low end's not overpowering. So if there's game audio or background music or anything like that, my voice cuts through. Too much low end can make your voice harder to understand when there's a bunch of background noise and stuff like that. So I always cut out some of the low end, and you probably should too. A lot of people want to boost the low end, but you really shouldn't do that in my opinion. When I edit a voiceover, I'm not trying to change the way the microphone sounds. I'm not trying to change the way my voice sounds. I'm just trying to fix any problems and make my voice cut through in case there's background noise and audio, and just make my voice sound normal. I want it to sound natural. I don't want it to sound like some bass boosted thing. I don't want to sound like Johnny Cash. I just want it to sound very pleasant and nice to listen to. So some of the changes you make sometimes might even not sound as good, but you might need to make those changes. Like for example, lowering some of the bass. It may not sound quite as good once you cut some of the bass out, but it can be more pleasant to listen to or easier to hear over certain sounds that are in the background. So sometimes, even though it doesn't sound quite as good, it's going to be better for the viewer, right? The main thing is you want the viewers to be able to hear everything clearly. You want your voice to be able to understand. You don't want to have a bunch of sibilants or nasty resonating frequencies that's going to make them not want to listen to your recording, because you know what? Bad audio is one of the worst things you can have. Even on a YouTube video, the audio is 50% of the video. The video is 50%, the audio is the other 50%. And if the audio is bad, they're more likely to leave compared to if the audio is good and the video is bad, right? People are more likely to stick around and watch something where the video quality is not great as long as it sounds nice. But if it sounds bad, people will bounce and leave your video or podcast or whatever right away. So you want to make sure your voice is as pleasant to listen to as possible. That way people don't leave and get upset and they're like, I'm out of here. I'm not listening to this guy's stuff. But anyways, those are all free plugins. I hope you guys liked the video. Hope you guys go download this. If you don't already have a bunch of paid plugins, I'm telling you right now, these are super awesome plugins. They're all free. They do a great job. So I think that's pretty much the deal. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell and set those notifications all. That way when we make new videos, YouTube notifies you when we drop new content. If you check the video's description or the pinned comment, you'll find links to where you can get all of these plugins, plus a bunch of other really awesome stuff and some ways to help support the channel. But I just want to say thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to watch some more of our videos, maybe click on one of these that are just about to pop up on the screen right about here. Even just watching more of our videos really does help the channel a lot. So thank you. I really do appreciate you guys and gals. Have a wonderful day. Hope you liked the video, and we will catch you next time. Lightning out. See ya.